Hey everybody, this is Adrienne Thompson, back with more self-publishing tips and motivation. Today I want to talk about a subject that's kind of controversial in the self-publishing world, and that is reviews, or more specifically, negative reviews, and how to handle them. At least I'm going to share with you how I handle them. First thing I want to say about reviews is that, they fall into different categories. They're the positive ones, the people who like the book, the negative ones, people who definitely didn't like the book, and just the ones that are kind of neutral, the people that just leave a review because that's their practice to always leave a review. Some people leave one only when they like a book. Some people only leave a review when they dislike it or have some type of strong feeling about it, either way. And some people review everything they read, which is a great practice. Some reviewers are professional reviewers and they review, whatever submitted to them. The important thing to remember about any review is that it's an opinion. It's that person's opinion. And one person's opinion doesn't weigh any more than the next person's opinion. As a writer, we tend to, we rejoice about good reviews, but for some reason, for a lot of us, the negative reviews carry more weight. And that shouldn't be so. I mean, I've been guilty of that too. I've been guilty of taking reviews personally because my work is personal to me. And for me as a writer, my books are like my children, and nobody wants someone saying something negative about their kids. At least I wouldn't. And your knee-jerk reaction is to defend yourself and to defend your work. But I have decided not to do that. For one thing, if you focus on the negative, you give more power to the negative. That's my belief. A lot of people are leaving their honest opinion. They honestly did not like it. They honestly are pointing out things that actually could be helpful a lot of times for you improving your writing. And that's their honest opinion, and they have a right to that. It's especially if they purchased the book and read it, they have a right to their opinion, good or bad. And I'm not going to argue with them about it. If it's someone who may not like me personally, and that does happen. I haven't had it happen to me, but I've seen reviews where basically they reviewed the person, the author, and not the book. But the way I will handle it, that is to ignore it as well, because some people are just looking for an argument, and I refuse to give it to them. I don't have time I don't have time to give it to them. I'm working, so I don't address them at all. And by that token, I try not to address the positive ones or the negative ones. The way I look at it is I don't want to deter anybody from leaving a review. And I do know sometimes when I notice that the author is commenting on every review, well, I would step back from it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to leave one. I don't want to, have an argument with the author about my opinion. And I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinion, like I said before, we tend to give more weight to the negative reviews, but we're doing that. It's not that they carry more weight, it's that we're putting the weight on them, and we shouldn't do that. An opinion is an opinion. A bad review does not mean that the book is bad. The example I like to use is a book that a friend of mine told me about. She raved about it, loved the book, loved it so much that she bought me a copy and gave it to me because she really wanted me to read it. She said it was one of the best books she'd read. And I started reading it, and I got to about page 10 and I couldn't read it anymore. It was of no interest to me. It wasn't that it was grammatically incorrect or written bad. I wasn't interested in the storyline. It didn't grab me. You have to grab me pretty quickly for me to read it. It did not grab me, and it didn't do anything for me. I couldn't finish it. Now the book has a lot of 5-star reviews on Amazon. I don't doubt that it's a good book for the right reader, but I wasn't the right reader, and it wasn't good to me. But that didn't make it a bad book. So that's the way I try to look at things, especially with my own work. Because one reader didn't like it doesn't mean it's a bad book. It means that wasn't the right book for that reader. As readers, we bring a lot to the table when we're reading a book. We bring our past experiences. A lot of times a person can read something that really hits a little too close to home, and it makes them not like it because they don't want to face whatever it is that they have to face in reading that book. Or it could be they just don't like the subject matter. I wouldn't go buy a zombie book because I don't like zombie stories. So, if I read one, I don't know what kind of review I would give it because that's not my cup of tea. So that would be my, if you take anything away from this video, it's just to remember that reviews are subjective. Bad reviews don't mean that your book is bad. And just try not to take it as personally as we do. I've learned in this industry, once you put your work out there, it's a crapshoot. Some people are gonna like it, some people are not, and you just have to learn to roll with the punches, and just move on. And if there's something valid in that review that could be improved upon, I take that away and I try to improve on it. But I don't let a negative review stop me. You can't do that. And it's very important not to let the minority, if you have a minority of bad reviews, not to let that overrule the majority of the good feedback that you get. Just take it with a grain of salt. Remember that that's someone's opinion. It's not the gospel truth necessarily, and move on. So my motivation for today would be just, believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, and think on the positive side. Stick to positivity, and don't let the negativity overtake you. Until later, be blessed.